Hello there. So I'm going to be doing my short reflection on my difficult conversation that I had. I would like to say at the beginning that this is my second time around. The first time I recorded it, it turned out to be 26 minutes, so I thought that wasn't brief enough. So I'm going to try and shorten it. We'll see how that goes. So I just wanted to start by saying that the person I interviewed wishes for me not to use their name or the relationship I have with them. I am allowed to say she, as she did say that was allowed, and it makes my job a lot easier. So, the conversation I had about the TRC, very little about it was the TRC. When I brought that up, she was very uncomfortable talking about it because she had yet to read it and she didn't have enough experience with it to feel like she could talk about it. So I respected that. We did talk about it a little bit. We did go other places as she wanted me to go there with her. And I didn't fight because I learned from this experience that she had very little knowledge about residential schools and Aboriginal people. So I didn't want to shove it down her throat. Um, Throughout this conversation, there was a lot of tension because we had very conflicting beliefs, and I did challenge her on some things, which she said there were times where she felt like I was attacking her, and we did discuss that, as that was not my intention at all, and just wanted to challenge her. And with challenging herself, it challenged me as well as a pre-service teacher, as appropriate ways to handle these conversations and maybe ways that I don't want to do again, because there were definitely moments where I felt that, and I feel like that's okay as well. So quickly reflecting, yeah, I don't want to make this movie long again. So there's three things I learned, which I feel are very important to mention. Sorry about that. I just wanted to see if my camera was still on. The first thing was that these difficult conversations that we want to have may not happen. The assignment was about the conversation with the TRC, and although it was spoke about a little, it wasn't spoke about in the depth that I wanted to go, and that's okay. And I can apply that to my teaching in a way that some students are not prepared to go to the places that we want them to go, and instead we need to accompany them in the places they want to go. And understanding that this is okay is very important for me going forward in my teaching career. My second thing that I took away from this was that there are times to challenge and times to not. Expanding on that a little bit is that there are going to be people that believe different things than we believe. And that's okay, because that's what makes this world interesting. But there are beliefs that people hold that we want to challenge. And every opportunity I had to challenge something, I did. And that was very inappropriate for me, because again, she felt like I was attacking her, and that was by no means what I wanted to do. There are times where we need to hold our tongue and not challenge things, and let these individuals express how they feel and work through it with them instead of challenge them. Again, I can apply this to my teaching practice in the way that if I'm going to have, and when I have these difficult conversations with my students, I don't want to challenge them. They may not have the background knowledge or the information needed to meet my challenge with another challenge, and that's okay. So instead of challenging people, talk to them, work through it, help them understand in a way that's not attacking, because you don't want anyone to feel that way, and that's not what we're here for. But working and talking through these difficult conversations helps teachers become better at doing it, but can also help the individual that we're either talking to or a student. It can help them better understand information and how to have these conversations in the future with other people that they wish to have these conversations with. The third thing I learned is that you need to have time within a conversation to step away. There were times where I was very close to crying because there was so much tension within the conversation, but there was a particular time when the person I was talking to wanted to step away and didn't want to talk about certain things, and that was perfectly okay because I didn't want her to talk about anything she didn't feel ready to talk about or wasn't comfortable with it. Again, I think this relates to my teaching practice because there needs to be a way where students can disengage. If they're being triggered, they need to have a safe place where they can get up and go or walk out and know that we will be there to help them in whatever way that we can be, and to maybe steer clear of situations that trigger them. We do need to know these triggers beforehand, but if we stumble upon them without pre-knowledge, we can make a mental note that this person gets triggered by this, so maybe steer away from it if possible. If not, warn the student and say, if you get triggered, you are more than welcome to step out and take a breath and collect yourself and rejoin us whenever you feel that you can. So, not going into much detail about the conversation, just these difficult conversations are going to be hard, even with people that we trust, but they need to happen and they need to be present within our lives.